great haircut.
That is a great haircut. You need to Guangzhou and get one of those yourself, mate. Ta Yao. Sri Lankan support squad are here. There are their flags. Yeah, they really are. Oh, nice. Some bit of power, the Sri Lankans, aren't they? Yeah. Yes. Saranga kind of, he hasn't been very fit. Yeah. Well, there was one kid, do you remember? I didn't see him last year, but apparently he played very well. Went to the US. So welcome back to the Yio Chu Kang Stadium here in Singapore. It's time for the fourth quarter final between Sri Lanka and the People's Republic of China. China beating Singapore yesterday 24-14 and then going down to you guys yesterday 10-0. That was a good performance from them.
Yeah, they give us a bit of a scare again. It was a good kick up the backside we needed, Mike. We came in a little bit complacent, and we've played China in the last two comps, and of course we didn't predict the weather conditions having such effect on the outcome. So yeah, 10-0 wasn't particularly a good performance by us.
That ball's gone into touch from the kickoff. Sri Lanka, they had their share of luck yesterday too. They were 15-10 up against the Philippines. The Philippines, 12-10 up against the Philippines. The Philippines scoring a try and looking like they'd surprised Sri Lanka until the last seconds of the game. It's last minute try from their captain, Fadzil Marija, seeing them through 17-15. Su Hai Liang. Feng, who's very much the link man for the Chinese team. So again, China got possession and stringing some phases together here. Looking a lot more organised than they were previously in the tournament, that's for sure. Chen Yongchan, one of their big ball carriers.
Patience needed now, Mike. 4/5 phase, patience needed. Offside there, I think.
Yeah,
no, got away with it.
Littlewood
patience needed.
Feng.
There's the cut.
Just at the last chance saloon, Ma Chong. He scored some good tries yesterday against Singapore. Couldn't handle. But again, Feng Wenru conducting the orchestra for China, doing a good job. There's no doubt they're physically blessed, some of these Chinese players.
They produce some amazing athletes. It's that technical side. It's the years of experience playing rugby is what they lack, and again patience there. Another phase, another 2 phases probably would have resulted in a score. In contrast as well, Mike, I think Sri Lanka have got a great setup in terms of their schoolboy rugby, and they are playing rugby from a young age in Sri Lanka, and we are seeing the skill levels and the performance this year on the series. Sri Lanka have been the surprise package and really the most improved team that we've seen in Asia over the last 2 years.
Marija at centre, gets the ball out to Herat. Back to Marija. He was the hero yesterday, that's for sure. Nowhere to go for him. Ends up bumping into one of his players. So here's another prime chance for China. Just lacking some punch up front, perhaps the Sri Lankans die.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they've got some great footwork. They've got some great pace as well. Probably some of the best in the tournament. What they lack is what I call a Nick Hewson, one of our players who's great on the floor in these conditions, and he's just a nuisance. And they lack a big ball carrier, direct player up in the park.
So quick tap here from China. Feng takes the ball to the line, ignores a couple of his runners, but gets it wide to Ma Chong. This time he holds onto the ball and gets over for the first try of the game. So the alarm bells haven't started to ring yet for Sri Lanka, but China throwing down the gauntlet here for the Sri Lankan team, showing them that they are capable of competing at this level.
Don't give China possession. It's the key. It's the key when we play them. It's don't give them space in possession. They've got some talented runners, and you have to break down their defence 3 and 4 phases and be patient defensively and in attack with them. And Sri Lanka turning the ball over at first phase and giving them the set piece that China love to play off. And as we see there, first phase possession, one ruck and they're over in the corner. So where you play China is very, very important. I think Sri Lanka need to be patient now as they build the game.
Liu unsuccessful with the conversion. Nice kickoff, but Dissanayake manages to bring it down for Sri Lanka. Surya to Pereira, who's been given the role as first receiver in this game. Here's Marija at centre, who showed some pace yesterday. Herat again cuts inside, support on his inside, but he's just let them overrun. Surya again linking, flat pass. Susantha tries to get it, but can't get it. Dissanayake, a little bit of Keystone Cops there, and wise choice from Surya to chip over the top. He's beaten the defence, goes for the slips catch, picks it up, a metre away now. Oh, that was great work from Surya, and also Susantha spilt it. Surya did the perfect thing there, and Susantha, all he had to do was fall on the ground, and he's cost them. And the Sri Lankan support team there will have to put their flags away just for the moment.
It's those kind of games when these opportunities come along China defending really well, never giving up, chasing back, looked a certain try, but they've managed to save it. And it's these key elements in the game. If China can now clear their lines and get back on the front foot, who knows what might happen now as we run in towards half time.
Susantha, after spilling that Rugby try, Surya does so well that he gets to his feet ready for his support, and Susantha, there might have been a hand there as he went to ground, so he's been replaced. Patirana is on for him. A prop there, tight head prop. So China with a defensive scrum. He Fung again. Loads of confidence. He needs some support pretty soon. Again, he gets to his feet. So good skills, but goes out. So Sri Lanka now with their chance. Kumara wants the ball quickly. And Kumara gets the penalty. That was a bit of an unusual one. The first signal from the referee looked like China had received the penalty. The way they go. Here's Patirana. Commits 3 defenders. The space outside now for the Sri Lankans. Difficult though. But Kumara goes through. And he's very much been a form player this tournament. Kumara stepped up nicely. Got a try against Indonesia yesterday. And now levels things up against the Chinese.
Lacking control again, China had to clear their lines, giving the opportunity, and then a silly penalty for not giving the ball up in touch early, so that Sri Lanka could take a quick line out, which they probably wouldn't have taken anyway because there were lots of bodies about. But again, allowing Sri Lanka to get on the front foot, and the form player, one of the form players for them, and again showing his pace, absolutely fantastic.
He spent a lot of time on the bench this series, Salia Kumara. But got a lot of starts, 2 starts yesterday, and made the most of it, that's for sure. Ball just swaying in the breeze there. And that'll be half time, luckily for Chen Yong Chan, who bumbled that ball into touch. So, well, Sri Lanka having some tight games in this tournament, and the old Hearts will be beating with just a 2-point lead at half time.
Yeah, I watched the game yesterday, Mike, because it was going to affect who we played today, and it almost looked certain that we were going to be playing Sri Lanka in the Philippines game, one of the last games of the evening, and an amazing escape, having led at half time 10-0 or 12-0, and Philippines coming right back into the game. And it's probably happened to the Philippines 3 times in this series. They've lost with a dying play, and it's becoming a bit of a sort of common theme for the Philippines. Talking to a few of their players last night, they're getting a little bit frustrated with it, but certainly got out of jail, and again have got a tough second half against China to secure that semi-final slot.
The score at half time, 7 points to 5 to the Sri Lankans. So a big half of rugby for both teams here in the fourth quarter final of the Singapore leg of the HSBC Asian 7 Series. Sri Lanka with a wafer-thin 2-point lead as Surya Bandara gets dragged into his dead ball zone. Just manages to eke his way out, but it's so shallow, this dead ball zone. And there's a penalty here for Sri Lanka that will relieve the pressure somewhat. Lucky enough to have in the commentary position Dai Rees from the Hong Kong Rugby Union. Dai, as we finish this 7 series for this year, obviously it's been a great success. We've had some fantastic views on YouTube. We've had some good crowd numbers, and What do you think moving forward is the key to keep the evolution going?
Well, Mike, I'm lucky enough to be involved with the high performance group that work within the Asian series, and we're looking at trying to take us outside Asia in some way. Obviously the series has to be retained, and it's one of the most successful in the world, but we hope to try and develop a Pacific Rim type, Asian Pacific type play.
Well, here's China with a chance, and Feng Wenru being the kicker went for the inside line to get a bit closer to the posts.
A great little run. Didn't realise that, Mike. He was a kicker, but I can see why he took the
he might not even be getting the shot either. He had loads of space towards the corner, but just cut off the left foot. He's not even going to take this kick. It's going to be Liu Ruzi. So China taking the lead over Sri Lanka. Well, this would be a boil over if China can keep this up for the next 6 minutes.
I think Sri Lanka have come into the game a little bit complacent, a little bit thinking that the last couple of tournaments China haven't made the quarterfinals, and he's surprising them at the moment.
Well, there's not much time to readjust, that's for sure, in the game of sevens. It's a lovely darting run there. He's certainly put his hand up, Feng. He's been one of their influential players in this tournament.
Great kick-off again.
Yeah,
great
nice
kick-off.
indeed. And, the Sri Lankan struggling, and Surya is being well looked after too. He's certainly one of the danger men. Tidying him up nicely. Here's Feng again. Just scored a try. Looks for support. Lu Tiao, strong man, and inside it's Chen Yong Chan. So now the alarm bells are going off, that's for sure, in the Sri Lankan camp. This is real danger.
Sri Lanka looking a bit lost as well. You know, they're under pressure, and they've been the form side. I'd probably put a kiss of death on them when I said that they were the most improved side on the series, and I just couldn't see this happening. I thought they had too much experience and skill, but now they're looking rattled, really rattled with about 4 minutes to go. You know, China need to just keep the pressure on now. And again, Mike, it orientates around two superb kickoffs. Pressure at the kickoff has made the mistakes, and 2 tries. Kickoff is a key set piece in sevens rugby.
The woodwork comes into play again. Leo can't find his radar, but this is a 10-point margin now for China, so Sri Lanka are going to have to score twice in the last 4.5 minutes here. That could be a difficult assignment with the way that China are playing. Now, you talk about these kickoffs, Di, and it's one area of the game that Hong Kong and Japan just underline their credentials. You're so strong in the air.
It's a set piece. It's no different to the 15s game where we practice a lot of line-outs and scrummaging techniques for the new laws. Equally as critical in sevens is our line-out technique. So, you know, as a performance side, we spend hours and hours on single lifts and hanging the ball in particular areas, and it's something that certainly on the World Series sets the world professional teams apart from us as up-and-coming teams.
Another error there, this time from Patirana. Gives China a taking scrum under his own feet though. So here's a chance for Sri Lanka. They take it quickly. Referee not happy with the mark. Sinayaka charging off early. Kumara to Surya Bandara. Mariju seems to have stationed herself at centre now. Here's Herath. Now, nice handoff from Herath. He gets round the outside of Ma Chong. So Herath with a try, and this will close the gap. And they know they have to do this at pace. Herath urging Mariju to get back and take the conversion. They want to spend some time to make sure of it, that's for sure. 17-12 now.
2 minutes to go, Mike, do you think, or a little bit less?
Yeah, probably at least 2 minutes. That seems to have gone wide. So a 5-point margin. That's good work from Herath. Determined run. It's Herath's second try of the tournament. Again, maybe we're looking at Fazil Mariju, the captain. Oh, he's got that one over the head of Chen. So China will take the line-out throw. Feng Wenru. You can sense the Chinese know they're onto a major surprise here. Here's Feng. Puts it to Liu. Up to Ma Chong, and on the outside is a man with some pace, Zhou Jibin. Missed the Indian tournament with injury. Now here's a shot for Sri Lanka. Is it Houdini time again? They come away quickly, losing their footing though on the slippery turf. Need some more numbers at the ruck, and they're slow to arrive too, the Sri Lankans. Oh, and they've been penalised. Hand in the ruck. There were a couple of men on the ground from the previous move with the Sri Lankans, and they just couldn't get to their feet quickly enough. So
again, experience tells me, you Mike, they should be going to touch. They've got a good line out. They should be slowing things down, playing the last minute. It'll take a good 40 seconds to set this line out, and it could be possession off this line out and play the last 20-30 seconds down. So no hurry to get to the line out. Like, good play actually by China. Good contextual management of the game. Referee should be actually speeding it up a little bit.
Just to illustrate what a surprise this would be, China at 11th in the series at the moment, and Sri Lanka at 3rd. So this is a real boil over. Here's Marija. He was the hero yesterday. Goes for the kicking boots this time. Hera taking a while to get his pace up to speed. Gets down on top of Zolju Bin. They need the turnover here. They're desperate, the Sri Lankans. Can't get it. China back in position. Nice work there from Su Hai Liang. Takes the line on. Again, just organising themselves. And they've got numbers here too on the left. It's out to Ma Chong. Oh, that's a big call. Oh, but it's not a big call because the game is over. The Chinese have caused a major upset here against the Sri Lankans. Totally against the form book. What a boil over. 17 points to 12. And the Sri Lankans relegated to the plate for the Singapore leg.
Fantastic result for China. They've had a real indifferent series again this year. They're building up with a great group of young players, and they've improved as they've gone along the way. But what a great result. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty game, and I think probably Sri Lanka came into the game treating them with a little bit too lightly, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. But a great performance and great for Chinese rugby in the last